It's time. I'm gonna be reacting to my old animations. Thankfully, none of these are public, and I didn't know how to play the videos back then. Yeah, let's look. Let's look at Annie. Now, every animation will have one good drawing, because about a year ago, I went back to all my old animations and went to one of the drawings in the middle and redrew it as good. So anyway, and just so you know, they're literally all going to be Among Us animations. So let's get to it. Okay, grooming. Good. Honestly, this isn't the worst drawing I've ever seen. I mean, it's pretty bad, but here, I'm gonna give you a little comparison on then and now. There we go. I'm just gonna make all their visors blue so I don't throw up. What is this drawing supposed to be? I mean, Yellow, what are you doing? This is such... What? He's fixing the wires, but what? Anyway, this is Orange doing a task. I hate this. Blue, emptying the garbage. What is that supposed to be? He's emptying the garbage. I'm gonna give you a blue visor. Alright, and then we have Pink. So he goes up to a poster sign and sees this poster for a monster named Annie. And he's like, oh, it's probably nothing. I'm literally gonna throw up at this picture. It's absolute crap. Here we go. But then the tentacle comes and picks him up, and then he brings him to his lair and unblindfolds him to see this. This is my depiction of the monster of this story, Annie. And it's a pretty bad picture, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so red, purple, and blue see a vent, and they hear noise coming from inside of it, so they open it and see this staircase. Red's legs, he looks like a frog. He's Jeff the Frog. So they climb down. This is actually okay. It's a bad drawing, but like it's better than the rest of them. And so they come in and they see Annie. So I took the middle drawing and redrew it. So this is the redraw. And so they all run out of the room. So Annie is now chasing them. And he slaps Orange, because of course he does. And then Orange and Yellow come to save Pink. And Orange takes Pink. These are supposed to be their hands, by the way. Their hands. But then Yellow gets captured and taken down. And so the monster is about to eat Yellow. I just hate this drawing. But then Green comes and chops the arm off. And he does a whole, this is the dead monster in the background, he does a whole speech about blah, blah, blah. If we work together, we can defeat the monster. And they're all like, nah, and then they eject him. Again, since I'm literally gonna throw up at this drawing, I'm just gonna... There we go. Honestly, the redraw is like just as bad, but I don't care. So to be continued. And also, this is the thumbnail I put for it. And this is the redraw. Anyway, now Annie part 2, Green's Revenge. So they all fall into this black abyss, and they're like, what the frick? And then they see Green, and Orange is like, ha ha ha, you think you're king? Orange, I want to, what is this? This is supposed to be orange, but like, it looks like a bean with a white hole in it. It looks like a bean. There we go. And so Green cuts Orange in half, and they're all watching. These are their visors looking at Orange. God, this is such bad wrong. And then Orange is all like, and Red and Purple are scared. They're like, no, we're gonna die. And then Blue dies. And then, oh, this is my redraw. And then they're like, oh no, and then Red dies. And then Green's like, ha ha ha, and then Pink splashes him with a potion that makes him kind. And then he's like, oh, no. Also I gave him stomach rolls. And then they're like, we can make this better. And then Purple gives shots to Orange, Blue, and Red to revive them, which is like, what if that could if only that could happen in real Among Us, you just revive them. And then they take a picture. Also, this is the thumbnail I gave it. Honestly, not the worst thumbnail. This is the redraw. And this is the other redraw. Anyway, so now we're doing, that was a series. Now we're doing Among Us, but the imposter can change his color. So Green is the imposter. I like how in this one they have hats. And so all the crewmates scatter. Why does Orange have a chunky leg? And so Green's like, haha, I can change colors. And so he points his device to white, and now he's white. Yay! And then white, and then he kills Red. And then Brown comes, and he's like, oh, white, how could you? And then he switches back to Green, and Brown's pointing at the actual white. He's like, you're the killer. But since Green had shapeshifted into white, look, this animation was before shapeshifters were a thing. And then they're like, oh, really? And then they eject White, who was innocent. And then Brown's like, no, I swear. And then they eject Brown. And he's like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, oh, hello, Brown. And so Pink and Lime, and then they leave. And then Green shapeshifts into Pink and kills Lime. And so then Pink comes and he's like, no, Lime, you died. This was my attempt to draw a report. Look at those legs. Again, Jeff the Frog alert. What is this? Someone should make an Among Us animation where all the characters look like that. Anyway, and so Pink's like, Lime died. No one gets ejected. Then he switches to Lime, and he's like, oh, Lime, you're alive. And then Orange finds the body, but then Green shapeshifts onto Orange, so there's two oranges, and then kills Orange. So there's Pink and Orange dead. And so Green is covering up. Green had shapeshifted into Orange, and he's covering up the real Orange's dead body. Saying this out loud seems confusing. I apologize if you can't understand the animation. And then Yellow comes and he sees Orange covering up Orange's actual body. So we're just gonna... And then Yellow's like, oh, Orange, you killed Pink. And then they report it. And then he killed... But since Pink is actually dead, they're like, what the... And then they eject Yellow. See, I was trying to make the outline for that black, but I accidentally made it white. this would have been a nice time to know that there was actually an undo button. Now I'm going to fix it. And then Cyan kills Cyan, and then he wins. And this is the thumbnail I gave it. And this is the redraw thumbnail. This is the other redraw thumbnail. I think that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to make a post. It's actually kind of fun to film. Bye.